My name is Dan Brightwell. I'm the chairperson for the Southfield Veterans Commission. Today is January the 7th, 2009. We're interviewing Mr. Harry Glassman for the Library of Congress Veterans History Project. Also in the room today, we have Ms. Ethel Grossman. She's a commissioner also. And we have Mr. Tim Workers. He's a commissioner and our camera operator. And also we have Mr. Glassman's daughter, Leah
Traeger.
Traeger. Okay. Mr. Glassman, could you give us your full name and date and place of birth?
Harry R. Glassman.
Okay.
I'm born in
St. Paul.
huh?
St. Paul.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay. All right. No problem. Just take your time. We'll just take your time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
What was your date of birth?
August the 12th, 1917.
Okay. All right. Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I was drafted, and the reason I was drafted is my family was kind of poor, and they needed the money, to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me 60 days, and I worked in the aircraft company.
Okay.
And then after that, they called me in.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they give me a physical, and to make sure that I was okay before they take you.
Okay.
And I said I was. They were going to let me go at 1st, but then they said no. We're going to, which I wanted. I wanted to fight.
Okay.
So then they set me in, and I took a test. They want an IQ on you,
Okay.
so they give you this test. I did fairly well on it, so it was all right.
Okay. What branch of service were you in? What branch of service?
I was with the infantry.
Infantry, Army infantry.
Army infantry,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So then they sent me to Little Rock, Arkansas, where I took my basic.
Okay.
And from there, they sent me to Little Rock, Tennessee. No, not Little Rock, Tennessee. It was Tennessee.
Okay.
And we were doing mountain maneuvers up there.
Okay. Okay.
And it was a little scary up there at times because these big rattlesnakes.
Wow.
Oh, those big things, well, they were big. And one day, one sneaked up behind an officer when he was talking to him. So we got our bayonets out and took care of him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But it was pretty good up there in those mountains, and we were learning.
Okay.
We dug our foxholes up there.
Right.
And then from Tennessee, we stayed in Tennessee for a while, and then we were sent down to Kansas.
Okay.
This was snow maneuvers.
Okay.
And they had me get into a plastic thing with a machine gun, and I was in it all night, and it started to leak. I was getting soaked. So finally I stayed in there all night. This was just our maneuvers.
Okay, the plastic started to leak water?
Yeah, it started to leak.
Oh, okay.
And then after we were there for a while, we went to Arizona. And in Arizona, we had desert maneuvers. And we fought with the rattlesnakes. But they didn't bother. Here's the thing, a rattlesnake will not bother you if you don't bother it. When it rattles, it's telling you, go away.
Oh.
And if you go away, they won't follow you, they won't chase you.
Okay.
But there was another little snake about this side, and I can't think of the name of it for the life of me. The most poisonous snake in the United States, and it's only that big. If it bites you, you're gone. They have no way of curing you with. They have nothing to cure you with this snake.
Right.
And it's only about that big.
Right.
So we had our bags with our clothes and everything, and we tied them real tight. Because what they would do, they'd go inside the bag and you'd stick your hand in there and you're gone. Once you bite you, you're gone.
Right.
There is nothing they can do. They have no... And so we watched for them, and we with bayonets would go in there.
Sure.
And we had night, we'd be up sometimes all night, and then we'd dig holes and have our foxholes even in the desert there. And one day that it got so hot that when we were on the firing range, the target was going like this, from the heat.
Oh.
It was so hot that day. It broke the thermometer. That went up. That's how hot it got.
Wow.
And what happened, they gave me a pass to go home because I was close to home. I lived in California. And what happened, I go home and my dad's in bed with a cast from here down to his knees. So I sent in a telegram to ask for a few more days with my dad, But what happened, that guy must have been drunk, that guy that we called over at the telegraph office. He somehow he mixed up that whole thing. He must have been drunk.
No.
And when I got back, oh boy, did I get it.
Wow.
They brought me in, and there was one first lieutenant that hated me. And boy, did he go at me. He wanted them to give me, so what they did, they made me get out there in the sand and sift the sand. I was out there all day sifting sand. But really, I did the right thing. I had sent a telegram, and I didn't know it was bad until I got there.
Right.
And my dad, I hated to leave him, a little bit. I thought maybe a couple of days more, with him. Anyway, when I got back there, they put me to sifting sand. And everybody, I was laughing at them. They were maneuvering around there, and I had it easy. And they
were out there walking around the sun.
And they were really working them out.
Right. Now, when you were drafted, where were you living when you were drafted? Were you in Minnesota?
No, I lived in Los Angeles.
Oh, you lived in Los Angeles when you were drafted. Okay.
When I was 3 years old.
Okay.
We had moved from Minnesota to California.
Okay.
And so that's...
How old, you remember how old were you when you were drafted? How old were you?
Ooh. How old was I?
About 22?
43.
22.
17 from 43 is how much? 42.
I'm not